Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. This is Daily Trading Analysis with a quick market update for today, 11th of November. Nasdaq is basically in between these two resistance levels that we can clearly see in the 2-hour time frame. So we have this pivot in yellow, and we also have all these resistance levels that we are holding down since end of September. So this 11,800 more or less level was tapped twice, and we were more or less holding these lows. So if we change to the 4-hour, we can see the curling action, sideways consolidation on these levels that we are now trying to push after yesterday's CPI and after today's economic data. We check the 1 minute time frame, we can see that we initially sell off and we started pushing higher. We got the consumer sentiment that we are going to check in a few minutes, and we started grinding higher, but initially we rejected higher pricing. We tapped this resistance. We tried several times and we rejected it. Basically, volume started to accumulate on top. So a lot of supply at this level, and we came back to retest not the lows, but this market structure that we have right here, and then started recouping and pushing again higher, and right now are at those high of days levels, 11,800, doing a lot of topping tails up here, which are, I think, are expected. But we need to see this high of day break, and if that breaks and we reach 11,800, we can see in the daily that we are breaking this absolute big breakout, flat top breakout that we had since all this time, that we are now managing, trying to squeeze higher. Possible targets could be, honestly, 12,000. I think we can see 12,000 today. Markets are more or less pushing strongly, doing higher highs, doing some weeks of a lot of buyers, putting wicks, bottoming tails, dodges of the lows, and we are now pushing high of day, and I think bullish momentum is building up. We are now getting the point of control at 11,700 again, trying to build support of that. And I think we can see finally that move. So after yesterday's CPI, we got consumer sentiment at 10 a.m., half an hour after the open, and it was also really nice to see. The previous one was 59.9. We were expecting slightly decrease, but it got basically smacked down, destroyed. This consumer sentiment at 54.7 with the current, this is preliminary, but it's looking quite good. Preliminary for current conditions, also 57 versus 65, and expectations quite low also. So this is what Feds are looking for, demand destruction. We need consumers to stop spending and to cause prices to go down, because businesses need to lower prices to gather again consumer sentiments. But right now, the first part of the equation is being put in place from the consumer side, and we are now seeing a sentiment, a bearish sentiment, and consumer spending will be lower, I think, until the end of the year, heading up to the holidays, Christmas holidays. So going back to the charts, we can clearly see that all these news are being well received, and we are basically pushing right now in real time. I'm expecting 11,800, and if we check the 30-minute for levels, we have to go back until September to see this 21 of September. I think it was also either CPI or labor numbers, some kind of economic data that we rejected twice. And right now, if we are trying to break this previous support, is now resistance, we need to, I think we can see a squeeze in here. Nasdaq is already 1.4%, 40% in the green, but I think if we break, we can see a strong push to the upside to reclaim these candles and push maybe 12,000, or yeah, I think 12,000. That psychological level is going to, I think, is going to happen, honestly. What else is good? Well, stock market is basically pushing higher. Obviously, Apple, every stock in the Nasdaq is green. Amazon is putting a nice day with 4% after yesterday's. I think it was like almost 15%. Let's check it out. Price. It was from here to here. 11%. Wow, 11%. Unbelievable. These moves are crazy. Amazon is also in the consumer discretionary side, so it is expected that it's pushing quite high. And also Tesla was in the red today quite a lot, but then started squeezing, and it's now putting again nice candles on the day. We were talking yesterday. I uploaded a YouTube short in which I was saying, be careful because the big tech giants are falling. But now they are squeezing. Why? Because fundamentals are changed. And this is something that I already spoke about yesterday. We are seeing a big market structure change and a big market sentiment change. So Apple is putting nice green candles. Microsoft is also pushing previous pivots. I think we have to move here and start talking about 250 for Microsoft. Tesla was lagging down because of Elon Musk selling a lot of shares due to Twitter acquisition, but it's now putting a low in the 180s. Amazon is going higher, reclaiming those June 2022. Google 2.63%, also in the twos, leaving behind all these lows of earnings. Nvidia super strong. I think Nvidia is leading the recovery. Look at this. This is super huge. We are entering right now for Nvidia. We are approaching the 200 EMA on the daily, and Meta is filling the gap, filling the daily gap. So overall, Nasdaq, big tech companies are hot. And it's not because some speculation, it's because we have fundamentals supporting these moves. Nasdaq breaking 11,800 and still moving up. So what contributed to all this move apart from the CPI numbers and the consumer sentiment and all that fundamental stuff? Dollar, if you check dollar is basically being destroyed. If we check the daily, we can see a big trend line, not this local trend line, but also look at this big trend line that is being broken. Beautiful trend lines, beautiful fun lines that we are breaking down strongly. Look at these candles, red candles. So from the top of this, your rejection of the first candle, dollar is down almost 6%. And it is quite significant to see the dollar being weakened. And today's Veterans Day and bonds market are closed, but we are also seeing the 2-year and the 10-year pulling back a lot. So those kind of moves on the dollar and the yields, along with fundamentals change for CPI and consumer sentiment, are pushing the market up. This is a strong market change and a strong change in the overall sentiment of the investors and traders. And I think this is super important for November and December and in going to the end of the year. XLY, XLP, I like to talk a lot about this ratio, consumer discretionary. So consumer discretionary is going up even though the sentiment is bad. I think a lot of people is going again purchase, to buy all those companies that are in this sector, because inflation is going down, more or less. It's decreasing, not going up, but it's slowing down its increase. And it's quite important for the consumer discretionary sentiment to see this ratio and to start seeing money flow from staples XLP to XLY. So XLY, if we check the chart, we are putting a nice move off the bottom. In 2 days, we got 10% move to the upside. So I think the bullish sentiment, look at this, this is beautiful breakout. I think all these, let's see if we check my target. I think my target is 12, yeah, 12,000. So bullish sentiment on the equities market, on the Nasdaq and the S&Ps. We have dollar weakening, we have yields pulling back, and we have consumer discretionary going up. So what else we need to see? We need to see energy not going up again. We check the daily, we rejected on crude oil the first move to 95 again. So if you check, we are seeing all these flat top, this resistance that we got at 94. We rejected that in this second push, but we are putting higher lows. And if this move happens and we see another push and crude oil breaks out on the daily, obviously energy prices will impact future CPI data, and we can have a problem. I think during this year, crude oil and also natural gas need to stop increasing and to show bullish momentum. We are going into the winter. Crude oil and natural gas are energy commodities that are widely used during this season, in the winter season. But I hope that we see demand destruction and all these prices remain stable in the lower side of the daily, of the bracket. Because if we see again crude oil and natural gas reaching high levels, we can have a bullish rally in the equities market, but at some point, those increases in commodities, in energy commodities, in crude oil and natural gas will impact again CPI, and we might have another increase in CPI in an unexpected way in the future, maybe in December or January. So if we continue going up and we start seeing again a new CPI data, we can have a problem. So watch out for energy prices. Right now, XLE is, look at this, is breaking up, is trying to break this pivot. So XLE Energy Sector Fund is trying to again push higher pricing. So be careful with that, because all these effect in prices on the futures for energy commodities will impact not now, but will have an impact in the future. So watch out for that. Don't worry. So don't forget about energy, because we might have an issue in some months from now. Nasdaq breaking up, holding this breaking point, 11,800. Beautiful, beautiful move. So I think that's all from me. From my side, as always, thank you for your time. I hope you found this video useful. Please click the like button and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications when I upload videos and to support the channel to grow. I spend a lot of time and I put a lot of effort on doing these recaps on a daily basis. I upload new videos every single day for market forecast, market updates, and market recap. I appreciate your time as always, and see you in a couple of hours with the market recap. I hope you are taking profits right here. We got a nice day also today after yesterday's big day. But remember, the trading day is not over yet, so be disciplined, take into account your risk management, And remember that those are key for success. So stay safe, everyone, and see you later with the market recap.